Ever wondered how to turn your 360 photo captures into seamless panoramas? Whether you're using a one-shot camera like the Insta360, a DSLR, or even a drone, stitching is the key step to transform individual images into a full 360-degree photo. In this video, we'll dive into why stitching is essential, the basics you need to know, and how to use software like PTGui for high quality results. Let's get started. To create a smooth 360 photo, we need to stitch multiple images together. Each image overlaps with the next, giving the software reference points to match up edges. Without these overlaps, you would end up with gaps or mismatched areas. Using manual settings on your camera is also important, as it keeps the lighting consistent across each shot, creating a balanced and realistic final image. Another important concept is the nadir and zenith, the bottom and top points in a 360 photo. These areas usually are more distorted. Most 360 photos are exported in a 2:1 aspect ratio, meaning the width is twice the height, such as 10,000 by 5,000 pixels, or up to your camera's maximum resolution. For low light scenes, HDR mode can help capture more detail by blending multiple exposures. Finally, for file type, JPEG is recommended format for most users, as it offers a good balance between quality and file size, making it easy to share and view online, though other formats can be used, such as a TIFF or PNG. Some one-shot 360 cameras, like the Insta360 models, come with their own stitching software for both mobile and desktop, which makes the process simple and accessible. The Insta360 app allows you to edit and stitch on the go, perfect if you're capturing and processing images quickly for social media or simple tours. However, for more control or high quality, using dedicated software can be really beneficial. For DSLR setups, we recommend PTGui as a professional level tool that gives you precise control over the stitching process. Other options, like Hugin, are also available and can work well for general stitching needs. Today, we'll be focusing on PTGui, but keep in mind that the steps will be similar in other software. First, start up by opening up PTGui and then going into Load Images. Select the images that you want to use. Here I'm using a DSLR with 3 different levels of exposure. Choose Merge Bracketed Images and you'll see the different exposures merging into one. You'll then want to go into Image Parameters and ensure that the yaw is set in 90-degree increments. This will then ensure that it matches what it has been taken in the real world. You'll then want to go back into the Project Assistant and run the optimizer again. If you have any errors here, make sure that you can then go into the control points and add more control points. Here you can see that I'm checking between the different images. PTGui has automatically added in all the control points for these images, so I do not need to add any more. Then go into Exposure/HDR and select the merge using Exposure Fusion. Then go into the Exposure Fusion settings and adjust the shadows, light, and brightness to your preferences. Then go into Project Settings and ensure that Choose a Suitable Projection is unchecked. Also ensure that Do Align Images and Save the Modified Project is checked. Then go into Create Panorama. Choose the width and the height pixels. I generally use 10,000 by 5,000. Choose the folder where you would like to save your stitched image. Then press Create Panorama and PTGui will stitch together your image. Open it up and you'll have a fully stitched image. Next, we'll process some images from a drone. Open up a new PTGui project and go Load Images. Open up the images from your drone, wait for them to load in, and then select Align Images. PTGui will then go through and do its best job. As you'll see here, for me, it has been able to stitch everything relatively well. If that wasn't the point, you'd go into control points and you'd need to add more control points for the areas where it is not stitching. Zoom into the point where you want to stitch, add one point on one side, and then align it to match the other. Do this for all images and ensure that it is matching up. Then go back into the project assistant and run the optimizer again. If you have any warnings, go back to the control points and add more. Then head into the exposure/HDR settings and go merge using exposure fusion. Adjust the brightness, shadows, and the lights to adjust for your requirements. Once you're ready, go into create panorama and ensure that your width and height are set to what you want. Select the folder where you'd like your stitched panorama to go and then press create panorama. PTGui will then stitch your image. Open up your image to check that it is stitched correctly. If you'd like me to put together a video on how to replace the sky in drone 360 photos, leave a comment in the video below. As a little bit of an extra, I'll show you how you can stitch an Insta360 X4 image. So Insta360 images come with this .insp file format. If you change that to a .jpeg, you'll see the images from both lenses. Leave it as a JPEG and open it in PTGui. Then press Run Align Images and you'll see how PTGui converts the two lenses into the one image. If you wanted to, you could add more control points, but it's not needed in this case. You can also adjust the exposure fusion settings as we have before if you want to change the brightness and the shadows and the lightness. Then head into the Create Panorama section, choose the folder where you'd like the images to be saved and press Create Panorama. You'll now have a 360 panorama stitched in PTGui. While PTGui is powerful, there are other software options you might explore, like Hugin, which offers a similar process for free. And if you're working with large projects or need to stitch multiple sets of images, PTGui has a batch stitching feature. We have a separate video on batch stitching if you'd like a deeper dive into that workflow, so be sure to check it out. Once you've stitched your images, they're ready to be used in virtual tour software like Swyvl. Swyvl lets you map out 360 images to create an interactive virtual site tour, allowing clients, team members, or online viewers to explore the space fully. With your perfectly stitched images, Swyvl makes it easier to create and share immersive tours online. Have you tried stitching 360 images before, or is this your first time? Let us know in the comments. If there is also anything else that you'd like more details on, please leave a comment. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe this video. Thanks for watching and happy stitching. See you next time.